So you probably remember recently that a supposed insider of CD Projekt RED leaked details that we'd be seeing some sort of big No Man's Sky type revival and comeback for Cyberpunk 2077 here in June 2021. They also mentioned a bunch of stuff about cut content. Well, CD Projekt RED has officially come out and they have said that that rumor is simply not true at all. So we're going to be going over this in great detail right now, plus a bunch of other news about how modders are actually improving the game. But yeah, let's dive into this right now. Hey everyone, what's happening? Overworld Games here, and it's time for your daily dose of Cyberpunk 2077 news. So let's go to the official source right now. The official Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account says, normally we don't comment on rumors, but this time we wanted to make an exception as this story is simply not true. And here's the link. We're going to click into that, and you could see this is from the alleged CD Projekt RED dev talks about the state of Cyberpunk 2077 and future plans. Yeah, there's a lot of details in there. The most notable detail is how they're kind of reworking the game supposedly to bring a, No Man's Sky type comeback here by June 2021. Now, I made a video about this, and when I read that, and even in the video I stated that that's a stretch. Like, that puts the whole rumor into question. For me personally, I think that's a bunch of BS. And according to CD Projekt RED, that's the case. This is BS, this rumor, and that is not happening. There was also a bunch of other things stated, bashing cut content and the development process of the game. We're going to dive into more about this right now. Plus, the responses from you guys, the community. So, let's take a look at this. So, of course, we already know what the official response was, that the story is simply not true. Now, it says this, a CD Projekt RED representative has deviated from company policy to say that widely circulated rumors about development decisions on Cyberpunk 2077 from a developer are simply not true. Post on GameFAQs, a forum post claiming to include comments from a disgruntled developer, made multiple claims about cut content, code rewrites, pressure from company executives, and the game's ongoing fixes, even adding the unexpected detail that the company's original Johnny Silverhand was inspired by David Hayter's Solid Snake and Cillian Murphy. Now it says, responding to the thread on the CD Projekt RED forums as well, CD Projekt RED employee Vadier explained, we usually do not comment on rumors, but this is simply not true. So they're willing to comment on this rumor for sure because it's gone pretty viral out on Reddit, the communities, and elsewhere. Now, it says CD Projekt RED has repeatedly refused to comment on rumors following the troubled launch of Cyberpunk 2077, making this a notable exception. Previously, CD Projekt RED has also broken usual policy to deny rumors of a final last-minute delay to the game. So let me know what you guys actually believe here that is happening with Cyberpunk 2077. Do you think this insider could still actually be legit or not? Now, when it comes to this No Man's Sky comeback and revival, could we actually see something like that in the future? I don't think we're going to be seeing anything like that by June 2021. That's a big stretch. They've got a lot of work to do to polish this game first and foremost. But, we could potentially see something like that legit in the next 2 years. That's my opinion. Yeah, that makes sense to see like a definitive edition that's working with all the patches that have come out and then all the DLC. That makes sense to me. But June 2021, that's asking for a lot. And I did state that in my video, and that threw the whole rumor into question for me as well. But yeah, we're going to be going over some of the responses to this as well. The community responded to the official Twitter post. Let's take a look. Another LED says, the fact that you're commenting on this rumor must mean that this rumor is true, or at least it has some truths in it. Don't play smart. So it seems like a bit of the community are actually kind of questioning, CD Projekt RED and the official Cyberpunk Twitter account immediately. Keshin says, the game doesn't need a No Man's Sky comeback at all. It just needs to be ironed out with an industrial grade giant iron. But the game itself is really good, and on PC it's downright amazing. And he posts this really beautiful screenshot here of the city. It is really beautiful. Live Love Bot says, I know there's a lot of mindless hate being spewed at you guys, but I just want you to know that so many people, myself included, absolutely love the game. We trust the bugs and kinks will be fixed in the near future, and that you'll continue to bring us amazing content. So thank you for your hard work and dedication. Personally, I have never resonated with video game characters quite the way I have with those in Night City. And as a lesbian, especially Judy, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of my fave games of all time. Thank you. Looking forward to future DLC. So you can see how a lot of people really appreciate this game for sure. I'm at 100% completed this game and enjoyed, but I'm pretty sure there are so many cut content in this game as a sample. There's a Judy romance option for Mel V in the game, but you guys cut it out for some reason. I enjoy this game, but I feel so empty when I saw so many potential wasted. Yeah, so a lot of you guys have also noted a lot of cut content. It seems like the police system was also not fully developed in this game, so I'm sorry, you know, there's things that definitely need to be improved going forward just beyond the bugs. And yeah, one thing that we do have is help from the modding community. You know, Cyberpunk 2077 modders are fixing up their the game right now, and there's a bunch of really cool mods. You know, they're currently working on that third-person mod. There's this Arasaka appearance updater where the player can adjust some facial features and switch out their haircut, which it's mind-boggling that this stuff wasn't included in the game, but I had a feeling that modders would definitely help out. Now, there's also another mod that's incredibly helpful too. It's the Better Minimap by Willie JL, and you know, in the vanilla version of Cyberpunk and the standard version, the minimap is a big problem when you're traveling. You're going to be missing those corners, but this mod definitely alleviates that problem as well. And then you got to remember there's that third-person mod that right now needs a ton of work. Like, yeah, it looks okay when you're roaming around in third person, but it looks really, really bad when you start actually using your guns and weapons and things like that. So officially right now what CD Projekt RED is currently working on are those patches. Now, according to that alleged post, you know, that alleged insider that posted this right here, they were saying that we would not be getting patches in January and February, that those would be delayed, and that we would be getting the official patch in March. Since CD Projekt RED has come out and they've denied this rumor, this entire post, I'm going to assume that things are still going as planned, that we will be getting big patches in January and February. So please expect patches this month and then also February. I will keep you guys in the know as to what those patches will include, but it seems like they're going to stay on track to what they have officially stated, and we're going to go more off of what they are officially saying when it comes to patches, at least right now. And it seems like, you know, if there's any updates about those, they are willing to come out and tell us. Now, I also do want to say I do appreciate that CD Projekt RED is at least willing to come out and comment on rumors at this point and give their viewpoint, because a lot is just left up in the air and we do not know what's actually happening with Cyberpunk 2077 when these rumors do come out. Now, this is really cool discovery right here. I always like to include some sort of cool legendary finding. Check this out. This was posted on Reddit right here. It says, legendary precision rifle spec on top of the afterlife. Take the elevator up and jump up here. As you can see, there's some markings right here. This is a cool finding for sure. And it's basically just like a free legendary that you can get. Some people have already discovered it as well. They said it's a tech precision rifle spec like a Widow Maker. You can also buy the schematic too, but it's 20k downtown, so this is definitely cheaper and sooner. So yeah, it's going to definitely be cheaper and it's not going to cost you an arm and leg, I guess you would say. Now, it is time to go over your top comments from the previous video. Remember to leave a post below, a comment below, because it could end up in a future video. Let's do this. All right, this was the previous video I made. It says big news update, not so good news. CD Projekt RED officially responds. And there was also some information in here as well about cut content too. So let's go into this right now. This video was also about how the player base has shrunk about 80% from the time the game has come out on Steam. So it's seen like an 80% decline. Cartoon Management says, decline? Yeah, because they beat the game. Well, my issue with that is they compare it to The Witcher 3. They immediately, in this article, they said this type of decline only happened like after 3 or 4 months with The Witcher 3. So to me, that raises some questions as to what's going on. And replayability could be an actual issue, because I think a lot of you were expected to beat the game, of course, and then go back into the life paths and have a lot of different options dependent on the life path you chose. And that is not the case in this game. That's only for like really the tutorial. So I think that's the issue. All right, let's keep going with these DAP comments. Martin says 30-hour and Takamura still waiting. Because says, would you come back to the game in June? Yeah, it's not a bad game. Just the bugs and cut content make it a little less enjoyable console player. Z10-hour. Z says this. I finished the game. Plan to replay it once it's hopefully updated and more promised features are added. Let's take a look at what Ika says. So many arcades in the game and you can't interact. Imagine you could play Tetris, Wonder Boy, Street Fighter, Double Dragon. That'd actually be cool if they had like actual playable games like that. Thanos Films, I believe it is, says, I got it on Steam, but stopped playing it until there are a few more patches. So a lot of you agreed with this one. Seems like a bunch of you are waiting for patches to be coming out for this game. Here's some longer posts here. All right, here, 10 Pencils says, PC player here. I honestly felt like I was playing a buggy mess of a next-gen game the first few days as I was overwhelmed with the scope of the city. It really felt like I was experiencing culture shock at a different country. But the more I played, the more I started to realize just how absolutely barren this gigantic city actually is. You can't hang out with your homies like in GTA 5. You can't actually get hammered or play bar games like in Red Dead Redemption 2. You can't bring your romantic characters to dates like in GTA 4. Hell, it's not even satisfying to evade cops when you're at the max 1 in level, etc. That's something I love to do personally, like get into trouble, like heists, that sort of thing. They need more of that anyway in GTA 5. But anyway, it says this, I could easily overlook the bugs of this game if the world wasn't so barren. It just felt like they really wasted an opportunity to really make the city feel alive, especially with how massive it is. I've stopped playing and I'm going to check it out again when they release those DLC content they've been talking about. I really hope they add life to the city. So a lot of you agree with that one. It'd be cool if they really fleshed out the city with more meaningful side activities. There's some really cool side activities, don't get me wrong, but it also seems like you guys want like more social type activities as well in this game. Those were promised in that gameplay trailer where it was like, have fun in Night City. That's like never in the game. You really never see that ever, being able to, you know, do that type of social fun stuff on your own outside of like meaningful side activities and that sort of thing. But anyway, that's the news, the latest happenings around Cyberpunk 2077, an official response from CD Projekt RED about that alleged insider. Let me know what you make of that. Do you believe the insider or do you take the side of CD Projekt RED on this one? Sound off, everyone, in the comments below. But I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for all the love and support, and see you next time. Take care.